finally getting this Nezuko video out. I've had this document compiled for probably about a week, maybe longer than a week. Probably longer than a week. Longer than I would like to admit. Here's the document, take a look. We're looking at the wonderful Hidori Rose and her Nezuko cosplay. And guess what? You know, it's a great cosplay. However, there were some people on certain social media sites, maybe Twitter, that had a big problem with her wonderful cosplay. What is that problem? Why are they crying? What's the issue here? Well, there is really no issue. You know, people are happy to make an issue out of nothing. That's what we're looking at today. Let's go over back to the document. I'll see you in just a moment. So let me tell you the story of Hidori Rose and her Nezuko cosplay. She posted some wonderful pictures of this cosplay over on Twitter. Now, listen, I don't have a problem with her cosplay. However, to, abide by YouTube's policy, I'm going to put a box over certain areas of Hidori Rose there. But you know why. Anyways, she posted these pictures. It's a great cosplay. Check her out at Hidori Rose. That's her Twitter handle right there, Hidori Rose, if you haven't heard of her already. Does great cosplaying work. And there was some backlash immediately. One such user wrote, "She's underage," which got immediately ratioed. No likes, 25 replies. And the next day, after this person made this post saying she's underage, and they got all that backlash, they then added, "Never said I won't smash." So that was a bit odd. Make of that what you will. There were more tiers, but before we go take a look at that, we'll take a look at the people who are defending Hidori Rose here. One person responding with a meme writes, "Reality and fiction. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture." Because that's the main argument. Well, not the main argument. There's multiple arguments here. But people are having an issue with Nezuko cosplay being an adult cosplay, adult-themed 18-plus cosplay, because Nezuko's a kid in the show. Of course, that is a weird argument because the show is fiction. It's also not set in the modern time. It's also not here in the U.S., there's all sort of reasons why that argument is quite odd. But, people respond in kind. There you go. Another person said it's aged up and she's not real. And Nezuko isn't the only one who was aged up. And there you go. She is not special. My adult Nezuko-chan cosplay, keywords right there. Another response, the cosplayer is an adult, so it's legal. Another user writes, "Nezuko isn't real, genius." Another user says she's also a fictional character from a period over 150 years ago. So there you go. The model is also an adult. The cosplay is also of an adult version. It's also fiction. I know that's the part you're having trouble with. Can't separate reality and fiction, apparently. I don't know. But we'll take a look at more of the crying in a moment. It gets really good. But some more of the defenders of Hidori Rose before we get there. Another user writes, "Thank you for risking PC canceling and doing something so risky as to make an adult version of a character. God bless you, ma'am." Hidori Rose responds to that one, gets 110 likes, says, "I mean, it would be adult anyway since I myself am one, but I really like the silhouette that Sakimi-chan's version creates with the character." So if you don't know who I have a tough time with that one. For a long time, I thought her name was Sakimini-chan. And there's not that extra MI there. So I've been trying to adjust to her name. For like a year, I thought it was Sakimini-chan. I don't know why. Sakimi-chan. There we go. So Sakimi-chan, if you don't know who she is an artist, does a lot of 18-plus art. And you should also check her out if you haven't already. On Twitter, Sakimi-chan. You'll probably like what you see. So Hidori Rose is cosplaying that version of Nezuko. So there's also that. Moving on. Our very own Gothic Sushi here chimed in on this thread. Shouts out to you, Gothic Sushi. She says, "I am going to go through this entire thread and legit follow all these amazing cosplayers commenting because it's so hard to find normal thinking people in the cosplay community now. XOXO. I appreciate all of you and especially Hidori Rose for doing this amazing cosplay." Now, of course, I'll also recommend checking out Gothic Sushi if you like cosplayers and you're on Twitter and you're going to take a look at Hidori Rose. Also take a look at Gothic Sushi there. And of course, also check out Sakimi-chan. Sakimi-chan, not Sakimini-chan. Ignore me. I'm supposed to be an expert weeb, right? But my gosh, man, there's so many times you guys correct me on things I say. And, I like to think of myself as a higher tier weeb, but I'm probably more, middle. If I'm being hopeful, I'm like high tier middle, but I don't know if I'm high tier weeb. That said, I do have a Dakimakura pillow and some other things. And guys, spoiler alert. Let me get a sip of water really quick. I have another Dakimakura pillow coming soon, and I will show you all when it gets here. And then I'll have 2, and maybe then I can level up and be a top tier weeb. That would be great. That certainly would. So I'll let you guys all know, and I'll show you that new Dakimakura pillow. And also, there is one more thing. I'm doing another promotion with a certain company, and more information coming on that because I'm sure you'll like what that's all about. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off topic here. So let's get to the tiers where people were crying over this cosplay. Here are the people that could not stand that Hidori Rose had a great cosplay of Nezuko. They just couldn't fathom it. It's beyond them or whatever. They want something to complain about. You know, there's so many real world issues that they could actually spend their time, I don't want to say complaining about, but maybe taking a productive approach at actually fixing. But instead they're crying over a person who's cosplaying a fictional character. That's what they want to spend their time crying about. You know, man, this is a little off topic again, but my Twitter feed is like pretty good. Like who I follow on Twitter, I think they're pretty good, and my feed is pretty good. But even still, when I go on Twitter and I'm on there for longer than like 5 minutes, I start to just feel dirty. You know how sometimes if you see something, I don't want to say exactly what because it varies person to person, but there's sometimes you like see something or you hear something, and you just feel dirty, right? That's how I feel when I'm on Twitter for like more than 5 minutes. And I really hate to say it, but my gosh, man, it's really the anime community on Twitter. There's such a weird anime community on Twitter, and they call themselves like Annie-Twitter. And oh my gosh, man, it's I can't even get into it. Let's just take a look here. So one weird person says anyone but Nezuko, and replies with a John Tron tweet. Man, the tweet and the Tron there, that's tough. John Tron tweet that says, GIF that says, I don't like where this is going. So there you go. Moving on, you have the classic GIF here, the little girl who looks uncomfortable or whatever. So this person just feels that way, I guess, about the Nezuko cosplay. They even put ... that. You know, they can't handle it. They just can't handle it. Another user says, you may look good, but even so, I cannot stand that you are looting the DEMON girl. I don't know why I spelled that out. Didn't need to. But there you go. So this person doesn't even know Nezuko's name, but they're going to sit here complaining about someone who's cosplaying Nezuko. And you know what? I imagine if Hidori Rose is cosplaying Nezuko, she likes the character, and she's going around representing the character at conventions and posting good work online. I think she's doing a good thing for the character and the series. She's representing it. She's driving more traffic to it in a way. It's free marketing, right? And you have this person saying why it's bad, and this person doesn't even know the character's name. I'm sorry, man, but get out of here. Next person replies also with a meme, it looks like. This one's actually not even related to any of the complaints. I just thought it was funny. So this one's just funny. Your girl before and after you buy her food. Before, she's like, you know, and then after, she's also, well, she's chilling, I guess, but, you know, she still has a thing, but that's just how Nezuko is. Moving back to the tiers, another user says, thank you for risking, oh wait, this is not tiers. This is not tiers. So this was actually another thankful post. Says, thank you for risking cancellation, ma'am. Solidarity. And Hidori Rose's response to this is great. Calls it just as it is. Says, LMAO, I do that for a living with all these prudes around. Glad you like it. Straight up calling these weirdos out as they are, prudes. And that was probably putting it nicely, to be honest. She probably could have taken it a bit further than that. And, you know, we looked above at the irony of this person complaining and not even knowing Nezuko's name. And there's some more irony coming up right here. Take a look at this. So this user says, me protecting Nezuko from the adult artists who want to make art of her. That's not the funny thing, though. We'll come up to it in a second. Moving on from that one. Another person writes, no one LEWDS Nezuko. Another user says, I saw art of her on a couch a few days ago and it hurt my soul. What kind of couch? Think Chris Sabat. Think Funimation. You know, allegedly, right? Anyways, so just a little joke there. Another user writes, me when I meet a Nezuko LEWDR in person, almost said the word. And, you know, that casting couch thing, make of that what you will. To some people, it's not just a theory. I'm not here to tell you what way to think. Just want to report on what's going on. And that's a little off topic for this video, though. So another person says, when I meet a Nezuko adult enjoyer or whatever in person, replies with a GIF that says useless, 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 and is like hitting them or something. So there you go. That's a good way to reply, by beating them, you know. Weird people indeed. So here comes the irony. It's coming right up. Well, actually, it is coming up, but before we get to that, I'm a little all over the place with this document because I compiled this like a week ago and I kind of forgot the layout of it. As I said in the beginning, I've had this ready for a while, so please excuse me on that note. But there is two funny things coming up. Here's one of them. So this user says, I have unfortunately seen the work of scoundrels who have disturbed the natural order and have sullied Nezuko's name and image. To them I say, the F-th dude, and post a picture of Mr. From My Hero Academia. Muscles, goes through the floor, beats everyone up very easily, and I always blank up on his name for some reason. Why do I always... Toga. No, not Toga. Togata? It's something Togata. I'm forgetting it. It's an S there, I think. Anyways, Mirio Togata. I think that's it. Mirio Togata. Post a picture of Mirio. And then someone else replies with the classic All Might meme, only villains do that. So it's like, don't do that, only villains do that. It's that meme. Very popular meme in the anime community. You might not know this, but chances are, if you know memes in the anime community, you probably know this one. So what's hilarious is then this user writes, LMAO, that's a perfect response image. Mind if I steal? So this person is content to complain about the anime industry and the anime community, complain about cosplayers, cosplaying Nezuko. And as I mentioned in the beginning, in my opinion, this cosplayer is actually doing a good thing for the industry, a good thing for the show, because she is basically doing free marketing and representing that character at conventions. And imagine conventions if nobody cosplayed. Like, it would just, the mood would be so much different. It really would be. Even if you had the same exact the same amount of people attending the event, but none of them cosplayed, it wouldn't be the same, man. So it's just annoying to me that this person will complain about someone who's actually, again, in my opinion, representing the show and doing something good for the show. They'll say it's something bad, and what are they doing for the show? Really, probably nothing. Probably nothing. I don't know for sure. I'm not looking all over their Twitter feed or looking at what they're doing as an individual. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know what? If this is how they spend their free time complaining about something like this, I think it's a reasonable assumption. Moving on from that, here comes another ironic post. So here's our next complaint. This person crying about the Nezuko cosplay writes this. Zenitsu respects women so much. During the train arc, he had a dream about Nezuko. His dream wasn't adult-themed in any way. It was him being wholesome AF and showing her some love. Be like Zenitsu. He even respects her space, like he is never in her face. The little chase scene was added in anime, I think. And another user responds, writing this and even showing screen grabs, what we like to call evidence, right? Backs his claim up with evidence. Writes, !5. How is he a woman respecter when he talks like this? Subtitles are a little bit difficult to see. Says something like, you're allowed to touch. You can get to have your bodies massaged. When you play that game, you get to touch their hands. When you play tag, you get to touch their whole body. Each girl has two, one behind and two thighs. And there you go. So, gets called out. And then the weirdo who was crying about the Nezuko cosplay and saying how Zenitsu is so respectful, then completely freaks out. In all caps, responds, yes, but his dream about Nezuko was so effing wholesome, and I'm saying he's not adult theming her because he is, but you can respect women and want to LEWD them too. He says, you can respect women but be HORNY too. The double standards, the backpedaling, the moving of goalposts, whatever you want to say about that, it's probably accurate. It's just ridiculous to me. Again, this person, well, it's a different person this time, but these people complaining about the anime show that they don't know what they're talking about, as this person literally disproved them with evidence regarding Zenitsu and completely had them backpedaling, outraged, all caps, moving goalposts, etc., etc., etc. And finally, we have one more to take a look at here. Says, when I see Nezuko adult-themed art on the timeline, and finally, don't you dare LEWD Nezuko, leave my innocent, precious child alone. So there you go. That is the story of Hidori Rose, her Nezuko cosplay, and the backlash from very weird, fragile people that just can't compliment her good work. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to this channel if you aren't already, and if you are, take a look and be sure you still are, because YouTube has this thing where it likes to unsubscribe people randomly. I think it's randomly, but there's something a lot of us creators on YouTube say, and that's we don't really know. We have to guess how things are. Sometimes we figure out how they are, and then out of nowhere there'll be a change. And well, I don't want to get into a rant about that at the end. So if you enjoyed, please do the above. And for the last video, thank you, the wonderful people who helped promote that one on Twitter. And if you posted it elsewhere, appreciate that too. I just don't know. My system only tells me who promotes it on Twitter. And that is for the Rooster Teeth video yesterday, or the day before yesterday, actually. Yeah, wow, I had a day off. That's feel behind. Anyways, shouts out to Random Fandom, aka Ravenwood, John Edwards, Knight Mad Dragon, Mr. Anime 343, The Lancaster Kid, Captain Oblivious, Coden X, F Geek Boy, Fake Geek Boy, actually, there we go, Enigma, Cameron Stripe, Charza Kitsune, The Lazy Slacker 13. Oh, and 13th, whoa, that's coincidental. 13th Honey Badger, wrecked by West Nile Virus. Hey, thank you, buddy. Mashed Up Potatoes, Joshua Boston, Intimidator 108, and Scale Kitty. Thank you all very much. I'll see you soon. Peace.